Florida Gator on me, I'm a gator. They don't move wrong, I'm a gator. From the swamp, homie, I'm a gator.
But I can't tame them, dog. You ready to come? All dogs, all Seminoles, we coming.
Florida Gator on me, I'm a gator. Florida Gator on me, I'm a gator. Florida Gator on me, I'm a gator. They don't move wrong, I'm a gator. From the swamp, homie, I'm a gator. And that two-tone, I'm a gator. Florida Gator on me, I'm a
Welcome back to Gators Talk. I am your host, Millionaire Trader Alex, guys. I'm back with another one, and we're talking about Billy Napier today. And what is the temperature gauge reading on our head coach? Now, first thing first, he wasn't fired, so we still got Billy Napier as the head coach. That's one thing we get out of the way. First year. Well, now we're down into the second year, guys. First year is behind us. Let's not talk about the first year. That's a first year coach. Everything has just changed. Rules changed on him. A lot of things, a lot of different factors played in his process. And think about it, guys. Billy laid out a process in which he was going to take to Scott Strickland. So Scott Strickland knew this was going to happen. So this is something that was already spoke of. So you guys can just temper it down on Billy Napier, just to be honest and keep it plain and clear. Temper it down. He's going to be here for a while. The guy has a big contract, and he's not going anywhere because it costs too much to even get rid of him. All right, so don't even think about it and just give a guy some time. So let's find out what the temperature is on this man. So right now, we're the number 3 recruiting class in the country right now. He's doing very good on the recruiting trail. Katie Turner's getting the ball rolling on the processes of helping Billy Napier get this thing rolling as far as what they do at official visits. So, and how they handle those things, as far as even the grill and the veal, all that stuff is done by Katie Turner, and she's doing a heck of a job. And that falls on Billy Napier because he's the leader of the ship. All right, the culture is changing over in the Gators facilities. We got the Heavenly Center, brand new facility, top of the line facility. We talking about a multi-million-dollar facility. Everything looks good in there. Everything's brand new. They got a lot of great things in that facility, and that's allowing for the transition to be smooth and the culture to change because the kids are more happier. They're happy about the new facility. They're happy to use it. So, and he's implementing, his values and his mantra to the players. Right now, he's trying to get everybody bought in. Make sure everybody is in sync on what we got going on over here. So that's something that he had to implement, and it's rolling over pretty smooth right now because all the players are singing the same tune right now. When you see them hit to the podium and have an interview, they're very high on Graham Mertz right now too as well. Everybody's singing the praises of each other and what they're doing in camp and how they're getting along. So that's something that's going over pretty well with the players right now. So the culture is changing pretty good. Those guys are changing their body with the strength and conditioning coach, Mark Hark. I'm just screwing up his name. Sorry, man. But they're doing well. Those guys are changing their body. They're happy about their results. They got a chip on their shoulder right now. They're ready to go out here and win ball games. But it's going to be won on the field. So hopefully our schematic and our coaching is going over well. And speaking of coaches, we do have a few new coaches that came in right during the spring, right at the beginning of the spring camp. Billy Gonzalez came in, Austin Armstrong, Russ Calloway, was moved up through the ranks, and now all these guys doing pretty good on the recruiting trail with helping Billy Napier secure blue chip athletes. So it's rolling over pretty smooth this year. The only thing that didn't work out that well was at the beginning of the year with Jaden Rashada, the NIL package and the NIL program that we had in place. But Billy got hold of that. Took him a second. This is something that he had to adapt to. This was all brand new. So these guys are gathering information and trying to run these programs and getting up and running. This is all new, so they don't know how this thing is going to react. It's going to really going to just play out within the college game and within the college program. So this is all new. So every program was trying this thing out and seeing what works for that program. So that's something that we had a debacle on early, but we fixed that. Went over from the Gator Guard to Gator Victorious. Now the players have a place to go where they can get genuine contracts that helps and benefits them, and and get it do community service, and the community already love the Gator players, so they just get to go out there and be with the community and make money at the same time, which is a plus. So that's something that we had to get a grasp on. You know what I mean? But right now he's managing a roster right now at this present moment. So with the roster management, you have the transfer portal. That's something that he had to grab a hold of too as well, because he has a lengthy process of engaging players from the time they hit the portal, gathering information on their personal information, their transcripts for their grades, and getting their medical information. Those processes are very slow, so he definitely got to pick up the speed on that, because he's able to recruit guys right throughout the portal. His time period is a little longer, so by the time he gathered this information, other teams are all over the other players and getting them in their programs and getting visits with them. So that's something he had to streamline and get a little better. At the same time, keep his process strong, because that's something that he's real passionate about and real stickler on, like going through his steps and not missing a step, because he gathers enough information and analytics to know what's going on. So that's something he want to really rely on, is this information and everybody that do that due diligence, that gather that information and present it to him. So that's something I think he need to get better at, but it's all new, like I said before. So this time around, he's had a slow process, so come next year, he will be better at it. We typically get better. Coaches preach to get better, so he must get better at that as well. So that's something that that's going, that they got going on as far as NIL goes. So everybody's doing pretty good at that, and you can see guys showing up on podcasts, so it's going pretty well. I think some of those guys reach out to those guys and get them to come on and really represent the Gators in a good way. But a lot of things going on. But as far as roster management goes, we definitely have guys on the roster that we don't know who they are, and most of these guys are preferred walk-ons. They give walk-ons a chance, which is good, because when I went to college, I was going to be a walk-on player as well. So I'm glad that he leave those positions open, but we got to start filling a lot more of those positions with scholarship players, but still have that allotted scholarships or preferred walk-on positions available for those kids to give them an opportunity to go out there and compete and earn their scholarship. That is awesome. I don't think he should cut it out or anything like that, but I think if you look at the roster, you look at the bottom of that roster, those spots can be by high caliber scholarship players. So we got to upgrade those positions and get more depth down at that area. So maybe those would be freshman guys, or developmental low 4-star players or high 3-star players, something like that. But that's something that he's working on. We're in year 2, so this is not going to happen overnight. We're not pulling the Dion where you just got 30 to 20 transfer portal guys coming in. We're not doing that. That's not happening over here. Just, nothing against Dion or nothing like that. Dion had to do that. He had a team that won 1 game last year, and the talent on that roster is dismal. You know what I'm saying? Our talent is not to that capacity of type of athletes we have over here at the University of Florida. So we don't have to do that. So we turning over a roster with a gradual process and recruiting. Recruiting out of high school is where you get the best players and the guys that's going to stay within the program because they're committed to your university as a freshman, as a kid out of high school, and they're committing for, from what they say, 2 to 3 years, or 3 to 4 years. So that's something that they're looking forward to, and they've done their work. So that's why you're going to try to retain most of your players, but you constantly keep recruiting because now the NIL and transfer portals all mangled together. So you kind of got to watch that coming out of high school recruits. But that's something that he had to work on. So that's something we got to give him time on because we know he's still managing the roster right now, and that's gonna always be the case because they're gonna have attrition in the program in this day and age of college football. So that's something that you got to just bear with. It's every program that has to deal with this. So it's not just the University of Florida. So just that's something that he's got to deal with. Him becoming from the Group of 5 to Power 5, that's something new to him. To him as a head coach. So he's learning on the fly right now and gathering a lot of information that he can gather and use to his benefit. So that's something that he's been working on as it go. So definitely got a lot going on with Billy and seeing how he's managing his situation with the Florida Gators. So that's a lot of different things that's going on. But another thing that I really, I was concerned with about him, but I think he can get better at it, and I hope he can recognize, because something he always do is analyze himself and his staff and see whether they, where they can get better at. And what I think he can get better at is managing the quarterback position, because he had a first round pick that was picked. They picked the 4th pick in the draft. The guy was a superior athlete, but we didn't get the most out of him. But granted, that was his first year, so I gotta reiterate this. The kid had to learn the playbook, so he didn't know the full playbook. He only had 9 months to learn the playbook and go through spring and learn the culture, go through the process of from January to fall camp. They have different phases all the way through there. All those kids had to get acclimated to that and learn the language. So that was something that he didn't have years with Anthony Richardson, but he did have a superior talent in Anthony Richardson. He just couldn't get the most out of him. I mean, Anthony Richardson was up and down. We could have won more than Granted, the defense sucked last year. It sucked, so that didn't give us a real good chance of winning games, but he played good enough. But right now, he has a 5-star quarterback and a 4-star quarterback in Graham Mertz and Jack Miller on the roster. Jack Miller is in year 2 right now, so that has to be, he has to feel more comfortable within the system. If Jack Miller is feeling more comfortable within the system, he should be pushing Graham Mertz a lot harder than actually what's going on. Because Graham Mertz is a former 5-star, and he does have way more game experience than Jack Miller. Because Jack Miller have 1 game. I think Graham Mertz have like 32 games, something like that, played. So the experience factor is playing a major factor, but he should be pushing him because he's been in the system longer. But I'm trying to see if he can get the most out of his quarterbacks, being that Billy Napier played quarterback and he coached wide receivers at Alabama. So the quarterback relationship, he should have that down pat, and that's his offensive system. So he should have a better understanding of it than anybody else outside of the offensive coordinator. So that's something that I think he need to get better at, is getting these quarterbacks ready to play winning football in the SEC. That's something, like I said, it's all new to him. But right now, he took this job. He took the Florida Gators job in the SEC. This is the smoke he wanted. He gonna have to bring it. That's the facts. That, and this is healthy criticism or healthy conversation about Billy. We're not trying to get rid of him. We just want to get a gauge on how he's doing with the University of Florida right now. He had his ups and downs, but he's still solid right now. But we definitely want to see what he got going on this fall. We want to see the product on the field. We got a lot of great freshmen coming in through the 23 class. So there's a lot of good guys. We talking about Andy Jean, Trey Wilson the third. His name's slipping me with Aiden Mizell. We have a lot of good guys. Tony Livingston. We got some nice young talent on offense that can come in and contribute right away. As that goes with Jaquavion Frazier and Ricky Pearsall and Caleb Douglas. So we got a good solid, top of the roster when it comes to the wide receiver position. We got solid guys that we can rotate in and out and keep guys fresh and keep challenging the defense. But I want to show you something, guys. I want to show you something. We want to go over to 2023 and 2024 defensive recruits that's possibly coming in. So bear with me on this. All right, guys. So as you can see, these are the 24, 23, and 24 recruits. So we have guys that's already on campus and the guys that we brought in through transfer portal as well. These are the guys. That's Kelby Collins. He's ranked at 96. Cameron James, he's ranked at 95. TJ Searcy, he's ranked at 92. Caleb Banks, a 91. Cameron Jackson, a 90. Nazir Johnson, that's a 90. Will Norman's a 90. Kendall Jackson's an 89. And Michael Burrow is an 87. Those guys in this one group, their rating is a 91. So that's defense. Those are defensive linemen, guys. And as you guys see, these guys are big. These are big young kids. You got to see this. On the edge, we got Jamonte Waller. Y'all seen the film? The guy's a menace. The guy is relentless out there on the field. Quincy Ivory, we brought him in from community college out there from the West Coast. He's an 87. He's a pretty big kid, guys. And check the linebackers and those ratings for the edge rushers. Just because the 98 and the 87, that equals out to a 92 rating. As far as linebackers, check the linebacker core is stout, guys, coming in. Miles Graham, 94. Darius Hayes, 93. Aaron Childs, 92. Jaden Robinson from last year, 90. The transfer guys, Manny Nunnery and Deuce Burlock, they're 86s. Overall rating, 90. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Let's go down to the defensive backs. Corners, Jakeem Jackson, you guys know who it is, rated a 97. Dijon Johnson, 94. Sharif Denson, 90. Teddy Foster, 87. Final score, 92 rating. The safeties, Xavier Filsaime, 98. Josiah Davis, 89. Aaron Gates, 88, which I think he's moved the corner. Jordan Castell, 88. Bryce Thornton, 88. Overall rating, 90. Guys, these core group of guys, they are ranked a 91 rating. So think about that. That's last year and this year. We still got to recruit 2025. Once we get these players all on campus, and it's with his player management. So we're talking player management here and roster management here. So getting these guys on campus, these guys are rated at 91. So you guys got to be patient and let these guys get on campus. Billy Napier is doing a great job recruiting, and you got to understand what he did last year. I didn't want to talk about last year too much, but what he did recruiting last year with no time at all in the SEC and recruiting SEC caliber players at all, and still almost came in as the 10th best class coming in. He did that with, it was almost effortlessly. It was almost effortless, but they, of course, they had to hit the ground running and going hard. So Billy went hard last year recruiting, even though y'all can't really tell that because it was a short time frame, and sometimes Florida fans just don't quite get it. Sorry guys, I ain't mean to talk to y'all like that, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all be in the discourse, y'all be in the comments, and you like, what the hell is he talking about? What is this guy saying? These ain't even haters of the Gators fan. These are Gator fans. So y'all understand this now. So the gauge right now, Billy's still good. Hopefully he can put a better product on the field. That should be some improvement from last year to this year. Those guys was new to the culture. Now we guys are second year in the system. Some of these guys first year, of course, because they're freshmen. Most of these guys will be second year in the system, and they should have some understanding on the offense, and they should be able to add a little bit more wrinkles on the offense because they've been in the system a lot longer. But we had to rebuild the offensive line just a little. So that's something that we've been dealing with. And, of course, we just lost Kenyatta Goodwin. So that was a big blow. But y'all understand what the situation was in that situation. So we have Damian George, Jordan Herman, and a couple more other guys that's getting Jalen Farmer. A couple more guys that's getting ready to play those positions and should be ready by now or very close to it. But, another thing, guys. We do have an injury today. Happened yesterday to Shamar James. He hurt his leg. He should be once they get the press conference to today, we should find out more about this situation. But I think he had a leg injury. I hope, hopefully it's something short, nothing major. Something he can nurse for a couple of days, maybe a week, because the game is the 31st. So I think today is the 3rd. So the game is right around the corner. I hope we don't have lose this kid for an extended period of time. I know he was looking forward. Just think about it, as from a player perspective, the kid was looking forward to getting ready to get out there. But everybody know they got to try to avoid injury. Well, not try to avoid. You play full speed and things happen. It happens. You don't try to play. You don't play like that. That's not the way to play football. But they get to use the new facility and see if we can get this kid back on the field as soon as possible. But that's my thoughts on Billy Napier and what's going on and how he's been doing going into the fall camp and getting ready for the season. What do you guys think? Make sure you get down in the comment section. Let me know what's going on. Give me a Go Gators too. Also, you are pumped for this season because I definitely am. I'm telling you right now, I'm excited. I can't wait. I've been watching old Florida games lately. That's just something I do, guys. Y'all, I'm orange and blue all the way through. Y'all just got to know that. But make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Hit that notification bell when I drop videos, guys. I'm still trying to grow this channel, so I definitely need you guys' support. But we about to get on out of here, man. Y'all know how we got to do. Let me get this thing rocking now. Come on.